All right, I got a ding in my board. I set it down on my bricks and got a little snackle right there up on the nose. And I'm not gonna surf it until it's ready, but I like to take my boards to Beach House in Oceanside, and Mike will charge me if I have wax on my board or fins on my board or a leash. So I take them off, and it's a good opportunity to get my board clean and shiny. So we're gonna go through a stripping. So we get rid of the leash, and then we start stripping. I used to do it with like a hair dryer and get everything melted, or leave it in the sun. Leaving it in the sun helps a little. And then I used to use wax combs all the time to strip it. But what I found is just a putty knife works the best, as long as you're not gouging the corners of it into the glass. You're good. And you just smooth. You don't have to press hard. My board's pretty dirty, so we'll clean it up too. I'll show you how I get it nice and like brand new, shiny, clean. And I hate stripping my board and putting wax back on when it still looks like this. I know, I don't care if other people do it, but I don't like my board. I like it to be kind of as brand new as I can get it every time I wax it. So I'll show you my tricks. These birds on here, these crows, they are not graphics. They're graphics I put on there with crayon. So when I wax my boards, I like to get in there with some crayon before I do the wax, because crayons are made of wax, and draw fun pictures. Sometimes they're just doodles, sometimes they're something that I want to draw, and it lets me kind of update the look of my board every time I want to have a change. So these were my crows wearing goggles. Here, I'll show you up a little closer after I scrape the big stuff. It is easier if the sun is out and the wax is warm. The sun's not out today. It's hiding. This is my newest board right now. It was made by Curtis Wooden in Oceanside. And this is a cool custom setup, kind of based on another magic board I used to have, or I have still. And he did an amazing job. I love this board. It rides in everything. It grovels really good, but it also rides really good in a little bit bigger stuff. It's fast because it's so wide. You can see how wide it is. And Curtis was awesome. He basically did everything I asked him to do on it, and it turned out kind of exactly how I wanted. So, you know, lots of times they won't turn out exactly how you want them, but this one, my next board's going to be shaped by Curtis Wooden, W-O-O-D-I-N, Wooden surfboards. And I always get my repairs done by Beach House Sting Repair, Mike McBride, because he is my brother. But not because of that. Actually, it's because he is the best around. And he's the fastest. And he color matches better than everybody. He even color matches the faded yellow boards to their faded yellow color. So I could go straight to the fine stripping, but there you go. There's my my crows with goggles. It's a lot of wax I built up in a short time, a couple months. Just get all the big stuff off without scraping the corners of the putty knife into your board. I stopped using like heat guns and hair dryers because twice I've held it too close too long and delaminated a little piece of my board, and I just feel stupid when I do that. So I think Mike would take this stripped like this, you know, but I like to, like I said, get it down brand new when I do it. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna show you how I do it right now. The one thing I waste when I do it is probably paper towels. There's my wax. It's like 63 degrees outside right now and the wax is hard, so you see how easy it comes up when you got a good putty knife versus a fat plastic wax comb. So here's my secret. I use these hefty paper towels and Goo Gone. And the Goo Gone really works well on the wax. So give the board a good spray. And you see these smudges? These are from my black wetsuit getting in the wax and smudging all around. You could see in the beginning how black the wax was. So I add a pretty liberal Goo Gone. I'm not in a rush. And then I start. I'll start with the cleanest part. I don't know if you can see that changing, I sure can. There's where my ding is. I'm so sad about that. I was taking such good care of it. No dings at all. And then I just set it down right there behind me on the grass, and there's a little brick, and it barely nicked that brick when I set it, dropped it down. And so I take the first big heavy application of Goo Gone, and you see that just smears everything around. So the biggest waste is these paper towels. You can use regular cheap paper towels. I just have a whole bunch of these blue ones that are a little heavier duty, like. But I don't know why I spent money on them, but I got them, so I'm gonna use them. And I can come and re-scrape some of the stuff. can see where I'm going to need to scrub the black crayon off. And when I'm all done, I always use the Glue Gun on my putty knife to keep the edge of it brand new and keep it from getting waxy. I'm not too worried about getting it all up and off, and you can notice it's just smearing around. I'm just getting it so it's liquefied. Glue Gun does that to the wax. Try to get anything that's hard wax mixed in and smeared up. Then I can get a clean towel. Start wiping it up. I usually use a couple clean towels, one after the other. Where did the birds go? There we go. It's almost all the bits. But Glue Gun seems to be the magic touch. I'm giving you trade secrets, I guess. Alright, I see all that is on there. I get a clean one. Just one. If it's a regular paper towel, I usually get two and kind of double them up because they kind of sop through quicker. And then before you put new wax on, or before you take it and give it to your repair guy or wherever you're going, but before you apply new wax, you want to make sure that you come after all of this with another dry paper towel or rag, and make sure that you wipe it all because it's pretty greasy. It's orange oil, a lot of orange oil in there. Notice I don't need a scrubber or a pickle or a weird comb or anything crazy. I'm not trying to diss any of those, they all work. This is just what works best for me. So I'd share. So if you're going to sell a board, this is great to do. Get it all super clean. It didn't take long. It wasn't hard. There was no super effort in it. And then since I'm here and I'm going, I may as well just do the bottom. Well, I got to turn it over and take the fins out anyway. So see how pretty that looks? Brand new. Just a few little bumps here from where I put my butt and my feet. But the board is amazing. I couldn't be happier. I've lost a little weight already since I got this board, so if I get another one made, I'm gonna have it a little bit thinner and a tiny bit shorter. This is 5'7.5", 22 inches wide. So it's a short fatty. It really does the job. I'm gonna do the bottom just to clean the bumpies off. You always get stuff on your rails and on the bottom from under when you put stuff down, so I'm just cleaning the whole thing off. Before I do that, I'm gonna really cleanse this one. Had to go get my wax coat or my fin key. Yes, I'm running weird fins. If you haven't seen these are Elevons. They don't make them anymore, I don't think, because I can't find them anywhere. So if anybody can get me a pair of these kind of foiled Elevon fins, I would greatly appreciate it because I want to put it on a couple of my other boards. And if these ever break, I'd like to have a backup. Or if somebody could help me print some, I'd appreciate that. Here's a secret I learned from Beach House. Is when you're trying to get your fins out, the futures, you don't pull up on them. If you try to pull up, they never, if you're trying to pull this way, it doesn't work. But if you just push them straight back, it makes them do a wheelie, and you can get them out. That one's in there pretty good. Let's get it out. So yeah, Elevon, E-L-E-V-O-N. If you can find those for me, I'd appreciate that. Because I can't find them. Now we're just going to clean this up. Just a little bit. I'm going to put these back in so they don't scratch other people's boards if they scrape them. Just a little courtesy. So that Mike doesn't have to do it, or so that it doesn't bump up against someone else's board and just scratch it because they scratched it here. And that's how you strip a board. I know most of you guys know how to do it. It's just the way I do it. So. We're ready to go over to Beach House and drop this off and get it repaired. And he is my brother, but he doesn't do it for free. So I gotta be ready to pay some money. Shouldn't be too bad. It's just that little nose snapple. Hope you like it. I hope you like the board. I hope you look up Beach House. I hope you look up Curtis Wooden. And I hope that you have great surf sessions.